Hey guys, welcome to our show today. I'm going to be doing an interview with Norma Brown talking about the Godzilla movie that's coming up. The trailer was recently released, and I know that you personally are a big fan of Godzilla.
Yes, I am.
Have been for a long time.
Yes.
You constantly tell me about old Godzilla movies and things you love about Godzilla. So I wanted to get your take on it. First off, what did you think of the teaser trailer that you saw?
Very limited exposure, especially to Godzilla. We barely, if anything, saw anything of him. I mean,
Right.
it was very,
Well, yeah.
very minimal.
It is a teaser.
It is a teaser. It was not enough for me. I'm not ruined by anything I see that will not spoil a movie for me, and I really would like to see a little bit of what I'm going to see in the movies.
Well, you'll get more on the actual trailer that comes out, but this was just a teaser.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, you know.
Understandable. All right.
What did you think of what you did see?
Well, it looks interesting, but it just wasn't enough to really make an opinion about it. I'm hoping.
Well, you got to see like the size and proportion of Godzilla somewhat.
Right.
Which was satisfying?
That was satisfying, yes, that part was.
Cool.
He's, going to be a big boy.
He's supposed to be really, really huge, right?
Right.
I mean,
right.
in every movie he's been big, massive.
Right.
Right. But probably even bigger than King Kong, would you say?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would be.
Okay. So, what are your hopes and expectations for this film?
Well,
based on, all your Godzilla fandom and lore and the stuff that you cherished as a child, I guess, or growing up whenever you watched it.
As a child, it was always exciting, even though it was the old Japanese versions, which, were pretty, not very realistic, but they were still exciting. I have always loved all of that type of movie, anything to do with dinosaurs, and of course he follows that trend. I like to have some mystery. I liked the last Godzilla movie. They gave a little mystery in the beginning. You get a little bit of what's going on, but you really don't see him, and I like that in this type of movie. King Kong did it very, very well, the whole beginning. I like a little drama. It doesn't have to be all drama and all the way through the movie. I like some really good action and really start seeing the war and the fight between Godzilla and, the people. So I'm hoping for a little bit of everything. I'm just hoping they'll capture some of the mystery of how it started and where he came from and little things that start happening, little clues. I like to have a few little clues before you see him.
Yeah.
And it makes it, anticipate him more.
So you mentioned King Kong, Peter Jackson's King Kong,
right.
from 2010, I believe. Right. You would think that would be a perfect blueprint for this movie, or do you hope they just kind of use some examples, or what?
Well, I love the beginning of that movie. I love the whole excitement and the traveling in the ocean, the ship. To me, all of it was just phenomenal. The island, all of it before you even saw him.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made me want more of the movie, really.
Yeah.
The action was good, it was good when they came to the city. I enjoyed that movie a lot. I thought it captured a little bit of everything. It had the drama between the people, the love story.
So you're hoping it's a lot along those lines?
Yeah, I do. I kind of would like to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people just like to see him right off and see lots of action in the movie and get away from the people and their drama. But I kind of like it entwined.
Okay. All right. I want to go back and talk about how you became a fan of Godzilla. What was it about that? How are you exposed to it? Like, what did you see?
Well, everybody my age grew up. That was a big thing on TV. We didn't have a lot of that type of movies. We had a few dinosaur movies, a few Saturday. It was usually on Saturdays sometime. We had Empty Graves. The Dungeon. And so those were the kind of movies we watched. That was the exciting movies that we got to see. I just love dinosaurs. I love anything like that. It's just exciting to me. I think anybody in my generation, we pretty much all grew up with those type of movies, and we didn't have a lot. We didn't have a lot at the movie theater. We didn't have really anything like that at the theaters, so it was good.
So you saw what, some old, were they black and white films or?
Oh, yeah, they probably were for sure. We had black and white TV. Yeah.
Interesting that they would put those Japanese-made films on American television, huh?
Well, and I was probably a little older when I saw them, but yeah, everybody watched them. I mean, they were very popular, very
Cool.
popular.
All right, so now I want to talk about, they tried to make an American Godzilla movie back in 1998. You
Right,
remember
right.
Matthew Broderick?
Yes,
And
that's the one I was referring to earlier. I liked it also.
you liked that.
Yes.
But they had pitfalls with that. The Japanese people absolutely hate it, and
Yes.
a lot of hardcore Godzilla fans just
Right.
think that movie is terrible. What do you think the lesson learned from that would be? And in this one, how should they differ?
Well, I think the movies have to grow, but they also have to realize, there are a lot of people that are fans of Godzilla, and they watch the old movies, so I think it's kind of good to you can change him, but don't change him too much, make him, to me, some of my memorable moments was just seeing his face and him make his roar, how he would always do. And so to see a completely different Godzilla, was still exciting, but I kind of missed the old one, make him a little bigger, make him more believable, but kind of follow the same shape of the face this time. But, the beginning was good. I liked the beginning. I just needed a little bit more of the intrigue and the excitement and the anticipation. I like it to be a little bit more before you actually get to the whole fighting and everything else. And I think he jumped right into the city, which I would have liked to have seen a little bit more action going on elsewhere, and then before he came to the city.
Okay. All right. So have there been any movies recently that you think almost captured that Godzilla vibe or would be a good sort of reference point for this film? I mean, we're talking about films like Cloverfield, and then we have Pacific Rim, and
Well, Pacific Rim was really, really good. Practically all action. And
good or
all
bad? I mean, is that a good thing?
No, the movie was good. They carried it off very well. I really, really enjoyed it. I know you were a big fan of that movie also. Cloverfield, no, that just was a different type of movie, and I couldn't. No, that really didn't do it for me.
So you don't like that format?
No, I didn't like that format at all.
Alright.
If I were to follow anything, and I know they're not going to follow that movie, King Kong was just really good, the way they carried that through from the beginning
Okay.
to the end. And, of course, and it wouldn't be a bad idea someday to have Godzilla fight somebody else other than men,
Right.
in the Army or Air Force or whatever,
Okay.
You could, remember the old ones, he had quite a following of creatures.
Now, if this were a Michael Bay directed film, we know that there would be a huge amount of military involvement and all this layers and layers of government. How do you feel about that type of approach?
Well, I think the military almost always has to get involved if we're in America, if somewhere in any country. I mean, where are you going to get that kind of gunpowder? Who else is going to come in that's going to be able to really annihilate something that large? Maybe less, and maybe maybe some scientist or some other things on the side that can figure a plan, to get rid of him, or maybe take him back where he would not be killed, something like that. It can always
Alright.
travel a different vein, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. So as far as story goes, would it be more of just like a war to get rid of him, or kind of a mystery to figure out where he came from, or what do you think the focus should be? Do you have a preference?
Well, in the past, they've always kind of known that he came from, some radioactive island or something, or broke out of the ice in the ocean, something like that happened. But I like that.